can do the big sweeping intro.
Are you recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I want to make sure this time. All right.
Pretty
This is the Retro Smash Gaming Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Back in the saddle.
It's been a minute.
It has been since Thanksgiving, since we've sat here in the what do you call this room?
The game room.
Game room.
Nice and basic.
Well, see, I feel like this is much more of like a lounge kind of setting.
The game lounge.
The game lounge. But like I have the lounge, but this is like a lounge.
Sure. We'll stick with game lounge.
Well, I was gonna say this. I was gonna call it a study. I mean, a study has books and stuff, and I don't know if you know how to.
There's a few books up there.
Read Golf for Dummies, the Game Inventor's Handbook. My glasses are really working today. Pinstripe Empire. Let's see. Gaslands Refueled.
That's a game.
Oh,
it's like how do you play? I've never played it, but you have little like Matchbox cars or Hot Wheel cars.
Ooh.
And
why have we not played this?
I don't know.
That's right.
Why
up
have we
my
not
alley.
played so many of these fucking games?
Yeah, all like 100 that are sitting in this room right now.
I counted them, and I forget the number, but it was like 156.
I love that. I counted them. How many? I don't remember. Well, shit, that was 5 seconds of my life I'll never get back. But you're saying 156. That is impressive. I think we have maybe like 10 board games.
I am actually, after this, going to meet somebody to trade my Game Boy Advanced SP for about 5 board games.
What board games are you getting? I gotta make sure it's worth the trade.
Games you don't know. What is there? There's Rose King, Way of the Panda,
Disarreal.
Caribbean. No Disarreal.
What was that last one you said? Something about a panda?
It wasn't the last one, but it was Way of the Panda.
Way of the Panda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at all the games you have here, and a lot of these we've played. Some of them that almost cost us our friendship. I'm looking at right at Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter was one that almost cost us our friendship.
Estates.
No, fuck you, because you never explained the rules to Estates.
You got all shitty because you did not understand the rules.
Because you didn't explain the rules.
3/4 of the way in the game. But there was, 2 or 3 other people playing, and everybody said that I explained the rules besides you. So maybe it's possible that you weren't fucking paying attention.
Semantics. But
it is a fun game,
Semantics.
And I wish you would not hate it so you'd play it again.
I wish that game would burn in hell.
Okay.
But no, what were we saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna call this a study. You do have books and everything in here because I always considered my basement the lounge, and then I guess here would be like it's a lot warmer and more cozy in here than my basement is.
Yeah, a little bit, but it doesn't have that basement feel.
Yeah, because it's room temperature here. My basement's 56 degrees.
No, dude, it's warmer than room temperature.
Yeah, I'm sweating, and not just because I'm big.
I turned off the heat too.
Did you really?
Yeah, it just gets really fucking warm in here.
Damn.
But
son.
well, isn't everything room temperature depending on what room you're in?
It is. I'm not drunk enough for this. You are absolutely right. I am not drunk enough for this conversation. But you know what I am drunk enough for?
Mega Man 2 talk?
Yes, the best one in all the land. Kind of.
I have some thoughts.
I thought you might. And you know what? I feel like this conversation is going to be how you felt about Star Fox 64 and how I felt about Star Fox 64. It's going to be flipped about how I feel about Mega Man 2 and how you feel about Mega Man 2.
I don't know. Not to jump the gun, but I have never, how do I say it? I've never loved and hated a game at the same time so fucking much.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get into it.
I have a love-hate relationship with a game that we'll get in on our next podcast, so tune in 2 weeks. And we'll get to that later. But you know what we're going to get into right now?
What are we going to get into right now?
It's your game of the week.
Game of the week.
That I haven't had since before Thanksgiving. God, it's been like 7 weeks since we've cut one of these, hasn't it?
Yeah, but we had enough in the bank to keep putting them out.
Yes, we had enough recorded. We had, it was Christmas and New Year's, and we had a couple run-ins with the Backstreet Boys World Tour. So
there's COVID in there. Was there? No.
Dude, that's what I was referring to.
I don't get it. Explain.
Okay, so Game Grumps, they don't call the pandemic the C word because they say that COVID could very well be triggering. So they refer to it as the Backstreet Boys World Tour.
Because that's less triggering?
Hey, quit playing games with my heart. But yeah, we had a couple run-ins with the Backstreet Boys World Tour, holidays and everything, but it is good to be back.
It's okay.
And it's God damn it. And it's good to watch you lose another one of these games.
We'll see.
Are you ready?
Nope.
All right, well, here we go. For the first time in 8 weeks, is it this or is it that? Eric has to choose. Almost this or that. Don't worry, folks. I'll be here all day. I can't wait to hear what that sounds like. All right. Are you ready?
Nope.
All right. So, your name of today's game is Finish Him. Bum, 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 ba-da, dun, dun, da, 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 da.
Okay, so Mortal Kombat and Simpsons.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at you. You're figuring this out. Yes. So I'm going to give you a list of 7 items. You have to tell me if the item is either a fatality from the newest Mortal Kombat 11,
Fuck.
or an episode of The Simpsons.
You already did something on Mortal Kombat, the newest one, right? I think it was characters.
I did Mortal Kombat. I did Street Fighter characters.
No, you did a Mortal Kombat one.
Well, I did Mortal Kombat, but I did the OG fatalities. I'm surprised you remember that.
No, you did one with characters from the newer Mortal Kombat.
I did one from the characters from the newer Street Fighter because I was explaining to you about how Abigail was a 7-foot tall dude.
And
it was Street Fighter characters and the Atlanta Braves World Series roster. That was that one. See, my memory's still sharp.
If you're right, I mean, you could be wrong.
What did Charles Barkley say? I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Shut up, Shaquille. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. All right, let's roll them. Number 1, Blood Feud.
Oh, God. Okay, so the obvious one would be Mortal Kombat, so we're going Simpsons.
You turned a new leaf this year.
I'm
Too bad you're
one
wrong.
in. Oh.
Which is what I would say if you were wrong.
Oh, God.
But you're right.
Quit playing games with my heart.
I should have known from the start. Okay. Yes, Blood Feud, you are correct. It is a Simpsons episode, season 2, episode 22, the one where Mr. Burns needs a blood transfusion.
Mr. Burns is the angry old guy.
Yes, he owns the nuclear power plant. He's about 108 years old, and he's very excellent.
As you could probably tell, I'm not up to date on my Simpsons.
Smithers, who's that oaf sitting in section 22C? All right, that's Homer Simpson, sir. All right, so you're 1 for 1. You're just staring at me as I'm doing these impressions, which I always do on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/weldytime. All right, number 2, food for thought.
Food for thought. I think they could probably come up with a pretty creative finishing move with this name, so I'm going to go Mortal Kombat.
2 for 2. Nicely done. It is Baraka's finishing move.
Baraka.
I wish I would have written down what exactly they were, but I'm sure Baraka probably eats you.
I wish you would demonstrate them for me.
See me after class. Okay. Number 3. Who hired this guy?
My gut says Simpsons because maybe somebody would say that talking about Homer. So let's go that Simpsons.
It is a Mortal Kombat finishing move from Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, okay.
Which, of course, one of my favorite fatalities he ever did was in 9, where he split your head open, and in the cavity your head was, he pulled out an Academy Award and placed it there instead. And he said, "In the Oscar goes to," and then jammed it right in the split where your skull was now in 2 pieces.
We have had this conversation. I think you have told me that.
It's been a year.
No, because we've done the Mortal Kombat.
We had
on
this
podcast
conversation
before.
last year.
What are you talking? No,
That's a joke. It's a dad joke.
Oh, God.
I haven't seen you since last year.
Okay. What I'm saying is that you've told me that before on the podcast.
Yes.
Because you've done one on the Mortal Kombat finishing moves before.
The finishing moves from the past, not 11.
So that one was like an original one?
No, these are all Mortal Kombat 11 fatalities.
Right. But if you've told me that specific one before, then it had to have been from Mortal Kombat 11.
No, the one from before was from Mortal Kombat 9.
And it was the same move?
No, I have no idea what this one is. I just found the name.
What do you just said oh,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
shut up.
Number
No, you were
4.
telling me an old one with
Shut
the
up. Number 4.
God damn it.
Number 4, Party Pooper.
Simpsons.
It is a Mortal Kombat finisher
Oh god, okay.
from the Joker.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. You're 2 for 2. You're 2 for 4, I should say. All right. Number 5, Black Widower.
We're gonna go Simpsons again.
Yes, good work.
Yeah.
It is the episode where Sideshow Bob dates Selma, and one of the very first episodes where he comes to kill Bart.
Selma is the aunt.
Yes. There's Patty and Selma.
They're twins.
Yes, they're heavy smokers, and
Yep.
they love watching
Porn.
I was gonna say MacGyver. I can't even come up with a clever pun to connect the two.
But yeah, I was trying to think that too.
I know, because I mean,
Because you know they
there's
got
only
the
so
ones
much you
with
can
like
do with
shaving privates or Ryan's privates. And,
I was gonna say there's only so much you can do with like a rubber band and a piece of gum and.
oh no! See, my head went all the movie iterations of porn, like the
Oh, I got
shaving
you.
Ryan's private.
Yeah,
and
I see what you did there.
I was trying to come up with one of those,
No,
but I'm
yeah,
not quick
no,
enough.
not that MacGyver. Okay, number 6, Funeral for a Fiend. You only need one of these last 2 to win.
Funeral for a Fiend.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat.
It is an episode of The Simpsons.
God damn it.
It is season 19, episode 8. It is Sideshow Bob's funeral. So we had a couple Sideshow Bob episodes in here. Last one, number 7, Last Dance.
Oh, let's go Mortal Kombat.
Oh, he starts the year off with a win.
Oh, thank
Nicely
God.
done.
Is what I'd say if you got it right.
Well, it is what I'm saying because you did get it right.
Okay.
Which is what I would say if you got it right.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Which is what I would say if you got it wrong.
Ooh.
It's no, you got it right. You win. Kano finisher. Nice work. You start the year
Nicely
off with a
done.
dub.
Bang, bang, bang.
Onward to a game that you love/hate/love. This ought to be good because it's time for another Retro Smash Gaming Podcast. Deep dive.
In this episode, we are talking Mega Man 2, obviously.
Yay.
So in 1987, Capcom released the original Mega Man.
Boo.
Apparently, it had good reviews, but not many copies sold of it.
No.
So the development team wanted to make a sequel, but I don't think Capcom was like totally on board with it.
No.
But they allowed them to make the sequel, and they did most of the work on their free time.
Mm-hmm. Which
but they still had to do other projects though too.
Yeah, but you know what? That goes to show you, honestly, like just kind of a sidebar here. That just goes to show you that when a development company actually puts heart and soul into a game as opposed to, oh, we have to make this to make money, this almost was a labor of love.
Absolutely.
And it really paid off.
In December of 1988, this came out in Japan. Then in 89, June of 89, it came out in North America.
Where were you June of 89?
I was not anywhere.
I was in my first trimester.
Nice. Good times?
It was the last time I got a good night's sleep. So fuck.
And then this released in December of 1990 in the PAL regions.
Where were you in December 1990?
I was here somewhere.
You were
Probably in my mom's arms.
You were, yeah, I was gonna say
About
you were
6 months old.
I was gonna say you were crapping yourself, but that was probably last week sometime. So I can't
It's very possible.
I can't really delve into.
In March of 89, it was on the cover of the first issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Ooh, I did not have that note on here. No.
So a little perspective on what 1989 was like. The Berlin Wall came down. Gallon of gas was $1. The Cosby Show was the most popular TV series. Batman was the highest grossing film.
So like this year.
And Look Away was the top song on the charts. Interesting fact. On June 7th, it was at 123. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 6, 7, 89, 89. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh God. Jeez.
The more you know.
The more you do know.
Back to Mega Man. So it came out and it was a big success. The second issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly had 4 reviewers give it scores. All gave it an 8 out of 10. One reviewer said it was a tad too easy. I hope he was joking.
Oh God.
Because it's not easy. Or that reviewer's a fucking beast.
Right, yeah.
Mega Man 2 sold 1.5 million copies, or 1 out of every 41 Nintendo sold.
Jeez.
It was the best-selling Mega Man game of all time, but it was the 58th best-selling Capcom game.
Which hurts. That hurts because that's why Mega Man never gets any love. You know, Mega Man doesn't get any love because they never really have new games out, and which always sucks because then you got this
No,
guy like me that
hold the fuck on. How many Mega Man games are there?
okay. How many new Mega Man games have come out since like 2011? You've had collection after collection, but you only had Mega Man 11 come out. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean, because there have been 20, 25 Mega Man games,
Oh, that okay. So
like, total.
you have the original 11, you have the original series, you have the X series, you have the XZ series, you have the Battle Network series, which Battle Network is pretty much the closest you're going to get to any kind of like RPG style gaming. I even think there was a couple fighters in there, but I tried those out. They weren't all that great.
So you have 20 to 25, maybe, at least.
At least, I'm talking like you probably have at least 30.
Okay, so if it was that popular with that many games, it would still be releasing them.
Right, and that's exactly my point. I'm saying it's not super popular, which sucks because it's a great franchise, but Capcom always throws it to the curb because they want to put out another Street Fighter or more copies of Resident Evil or remakes of Resident Evil, and
Because those games sell more.
yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying this sucks because like people have been dying for at least a new Mega Man X game.
Obviously, the games have sold, otherwise they would not make them.
Right.
You don't make 30 games and the game sucks and not sell. You know, they have to make money. So they're obviously popular enough to sell, but not popular enough to be one of Capcom's like pillars. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
Okay, so why is that?
that's fair to say. I mean, I don't know because I feel like Mega Man really peaked early 90s because you had 1 and 2 were great, and then you get to like 3, 4, and 5 were great. 6, it started to seem like Mega Man was running out of steam a little bit, so they came out with the X series, which was absolutely just revolutionary on the Super Nintendo for its time. And then the X series kind of got a little wonky. So late, 90s, early 2000s, they came out with the XZ series, and it just I don't know, it doesn't get when you think of like the pinnacle video game characters, you got Mario, you got Link, you got Kirby, you got like Pikachu, you got Samus even. I mean, we just got lucky that, Metroid Dread came out recently. That
Yeah.
was kind of like a out there. But then you don't think of Mega Man as being a, quintessential, and that sucks.
I think that it's probably because it's a platformer and those kind of went by the wayside.
Yeah.
You know, it was popular in the early 90s when more platformers were popular. But when the N64 came out, when the PS1 came out, you started moving towards more 3D.
And
And Mega Man,
RPG and
right?
like
And
open
Mega Man
world.
never transitioned into that. It's always been like a
They
side-scrolling platformer.
they did. Legends was like an open world 3D, but I didn't think Legends was very good. And Mega Man 64 was not good at all. But I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so with Legends, when did that come out? What did that come out on?
I think it was a 64. Yeah, Legends came out in the 64.
And that was open world, said?
Yes, I believe.
And Mega Man 64, was that side-scrolling?
No, that was open world too. Mega Man, it kind of had the same problem that Sonic did, where when it moved from a 2D to a 3D, it got kind of awkward. Whereas Mario had a couple games to perfect that.
What do you mean it had a couple games to perfect that? Because
Well,
Mario 64 was fucking popular.
right, but Castlevania 64 wasn't, Mega Man 64 wasn't, and the original what would have been what was the first Sonic game that was like that? Was it Sonic 06? I don't
I
know.
think it was the one on the Dreamcast. What was that? Adventures, Sonic Adventures.
But I think a lot of the series that had trouble transitioning to 3D, and you are absolutely right. If they had trouble transitioning to the 3D, they died. That's why Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time was super popular because they had no issues transferring to the 3D world. And I guess Final Fantasy didn't either, because people love Final Fantasy 7. And that's why those are three series that are still popular today. This isn't just about, what it is now. I'm talking like legacy of Mega Man 2, because it was the quintessential platformer aside
Okay.
from Mario.
But these companies, they took a stab at it. Capcom with Mega Man going 3D, and
Yeah.
Castlevania, Donkey Kong. I mean, they went 3D. But
Like open world 3D? Or
yeah,
was it more like because there's a big difference between 3D and open world 3D.
no, I mean, I would say Donkey Kong 64 is comparable to Mario 64.
Let's see, I never played Donkey Kong 64.
But it sucked, so you don't have to. But these companies, they took just one stab at it and it didn't work. Then they're like, okay, we're going to go back to what we know, which is fair. But the industry moved far away from that. They're still popular with a certain group of people, but not mainstream.
Right.
And that's why it took Metroid so long to come out with a game like this. Because platforming, I don't want to say platforming's dead, but platforming is really for retro gamers.
There's a reason
Save the newer ones with Ori and
Bloodstained, and that's what I was just getting ready to say. Because
shit like that.
That's why a lot of the platformers these days have
Dead
that
Cells,
19...
Dead Cells like that, right?
Yeah, that's why a lot of these games these days, that if you look for a platformer, they have that 1980s taste to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have that flavor.
Because it's trying to get those retro gamers in there.
Mm-hmm. And it worked on me, but when you come out and say that Mega Man 2 was the highest Mega Man game ever, but it was only the 58th best selling Capcom game ever, I'm like, oh, that sucks, because it really was. I think it really was the best Mega Man besides for Mega Man X. But I thought Mega Man X was great.
They are, after I haven't played a ton of Mega Man. After playing this one, I played a couple other ones. Not through or anything, just kind of taking a stab at it. X and maybe like 4 or 5.
I loved 5, by the way.
They are solid games. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they aren't more popular. It could be the difficulty, because there is a big difficulty spike with this platformer versus, a Mario or a Donkey Kong.
Right, yeah. But honestly, like, Donkey Kong Country was hard. That game was crazy hard.
Not Mega Man hard, though.
I
See,
guess that's true, yeah.
I think the difference is in Donkey Kong, everything seemed doable. In Mega Man, some of the shit is overwhelming. Like
in Mega Man 2?
This. Yeah.
What did you feel like you couldn't do? I could probably see the fight with the dragon being really overwhelming at first.
When the first level in Wily's castle?
Yeah, like I can see the mecha dragon being really kind of a pain in the ass.
Why?
Because, I mean, it's just, you really can't get hit, or else you're going off a platform.
I didn't find it too difficult.
You didn't? It only takes me a couple tries. I mean,
I was just playing it this morning and I beat it the first try.
Oh, nice.
The most difficult, I did die several times playing it, but it wasn't actually fighting Mecha Dragon.
Yeah.
It was getting there.
Oh,
just the platform.
Jumping across the platform.
When it's just a single block. Because when you are in motion and going, those last, 3 blocks don't show up on the screen right away.
Right, yeah.
So I would jump, it wouldn't show up for a second, and I would second guess.
And try to go back, and then
fall.
And
then fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The controls were tight up to a certain point. Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, but that kind of caught you off guard.
Maybe it's not... I didn't feel like anything wasn't doable. It was just a lot more overwhelming than what Donkey Kong was. Because it took me forever to play through this game. I would get to a certain spot, I would have troubles, and then I would, keep playing it, get a little further. Then have troubles again. Keep playing it, for half an hour or whatever it may be, and get a little further. So I was slowly making progress through it.
You're taking it in chunks, which is good for your first real true playthrough.
What's the fucking point of all this that we're talking about?
Well, I think the whole point is going to be, yeah, it's a hard game, but honestly...
Oh, how popular. Why isn't it popular?
Why isn't it popular today?
Yeah, I think...
Because it's super hard, and the only thing you do in the game is jump and shoot. That's it.
Sure, but...
That's it. I mean, that's literally... We'll all call it out. And I know that's how a lot of people feel. It's like, Yeah, this game was revolutionary in 1988.
Yeah, but what do you do in Donkey Kong? Like, you don't do that much different.
Yeah, but that was 1995. Jumping and shooting had already been established. Like, there was not a whole lot of jump and shoot kind of games
When this came out, is
when
what
this
you're
came
saying.
out. Yeah. And then even then, 1 was insanely hard.
Okay.
Mega Man 1 was insanely hard because it had bullshit jumps and because it had Yellow Devil, which Watch Mojo said that Yellow Devil was the second hardest video game boss of all time.
What's the first?
I don't remember. I was just so shocked that they would even throw Yellow Devil in there from the original Mega Man because I know that gave a lot of people nightmares.
All right, let's jump into the game a little deeper.
Okay.
You want to talk about this level by level? Just go through each level.
We can. Well, I mean, do you have I know every time I play, I have a set path that I take for the game.
I took the path you sent me.
Okay, so you went
But when I was playing through today, I played a little bit different, I think.
Oh, what'd you try?
Metal Man, Bubble Man, Wood Man,
Okay.
Flash Man, Air Man, Quick Man. There's one more.
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more.
And you have pretty much done the first 6 that I've sent to you.
Oh, that was the order?
Yeah, because then there's Crash and Heat.
Oh, crap. Then I did Crash and then Heat.
Yes.
Oh, so I did the order again.
You did the order
Oh.
then. You did the order I sent you because
Because I
everybody
just remembered Metal Man was first, Bubble Man was second.
well, everybody does Metal Man first if you're not speedrunning it. Everybody does Metal Man first because Metal Blade is so absolutely crazy OP.
Mm-hmm.
It works on everything and it's stupid.
There's one that doesn't work. The Quick Man or Crash Man, it doesn't work too well on. Is that right?
Yeah, well, because Crash Man, all you gotta do is use air.
So you want to start with Metal Man? You want to start talking about that level?
Yes. All of the great thing about all the levels, by the way, is that they all have their own distinct color palette and design. I mean, in Mega Man 1, you had, fire, ice, Elect Man, so they all have it's like, okay, there's gonna be an electric stage. But Metal Man, when on the conveyor belts, which was great. And I thought that it was really clever, like right at the very beginning, they put a E-tank on that bottom conveyor belt. Here, once you've learned mastering and, jumping around and stuff, you get a prize for this. It's kind of tricky because you can walk, but it's going to take forever. So you want to jump all the way there. But if you over jump, you get the E-tank, but you fall to your death.
Do people find that difficult right there?
I mean, you can if you don't understand conveyor belts.
It's a pretty basic level. You go through the conveyor belts. You got the dropping fucking spike things.
Yes, which is I always thought was great because everybody kind of hated that because like, oh, this is a pain in the butt to get through. But it's like this is the easiest place to get 1-ups and to refill your energy.
Oh no, I'm talking about the things dropping on the chains. In the very beginning of the level.
Not the drills because the drills are in that level too.
Yep.
Yeah, the drills coming through. That's the best place, but. Yeah, the chains dropping down, those things will take like a third of your health.
But with the drills, it's a pain in the ass at the end of the drill section on the conveyor belt.
Right, yeah.
Because the conveyor belt's pushing you forward.
You're trying to move and jump and shoot.
Right.
But like I said, it's so rewarding whenever, you're just holding down, you're pressing, shoot, and you get a 1-up finally. It's like, oh god, this was totally worth it.
The spring things right before Metal Man. There's no way to kill those with your regular blaster, is there?
I don't know. I think you can kill a regular blaster, but I do not know. Like right before you get inside the door. By the way, was a great addition to the game because I don't know if you played 1. There's no door transition like that room there in the middle where you can kind of take a second, gather yourself. It kind of creates a little tension.
Yeah,
you can get to your weapon, use any E-tanks you need to, and jump straight in.
Did they not know that you could pause the game and do that?
Yeah, they did. But, I mean, it's kind of like a good checkpoint spot.
No, I like it.
They didn't have that in 1. They had enemies in that room in 1, and it was like 5 times as long.
There like was a room, though, separating?
Yeah, there was a room once you get in the door, but it had enemies in it, which
that
sucked.
Sucks.
Yeah. So they finally shortened it down to just this one room where you just go from left to right, jump in the door whenever you're ready.
The Metal Man fight can kind of be a pain in the ass.
Right,
If
yes.
it seems like this holds true with a lot of the bosses. If you have momentum and you figure out the pattern and you stay within the pattern, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're good. But once you get out of it for 1 second, it's hard to get back in it.
right, and it's also hard because you're doing this entire fight on a conveyor belt.
So what's the idea here? He shoots 3 blades at you. You jump over the first one and forward a little bit, then the other 2 miss you?
He throws a blade at you. Oh, you haven't figured it out.
No.
You didn't figure out the true pattern. He only throws a blade at you if you shoot at him.
Oh,
So if
I
you
didn't
hold
know
down
that.
shoot, 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 then he'll throw 3 blades at you. Which is why if you shoot and then jump and shoot and then fall down and keep shooting, you'll eventually you'll fall below the 2 blades that are up high
Mhm.
and you can hit him a couple times. But you're also doing this on a conveyor belt. So this is actually a sneaky hard fight if you didn't know that. But he only throws a blade at you if you shoot at him.
I didn't realize that because I was just spamming
Right.
shooting the
And
whole
it's easy
time.
it's easy to do that. It's easy to do that because once you go in, because the more you jump, the more he jumps, the more you shoot, the more he throws stuff at you.
Mhm. It makes sense.
So yeah, and then when when the conveyor belt shifts from left to right, or then goes back from right to left, it's just an interesting way to start the game at least.
Then when it shifts left and right and it gets you out of that pattern, like I was
Right,
saying.
exactly, and that's what you're saying. Yeah, you are correct. When it gets out of that pattern. So logically, next would be Bubble Man, which if you are epileptic, don't play Bubble Man stage at the very beginning with the waterfall.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
God, that kind of slows the game down a little bit. Not to mention those frogs shooting out are a pain in the ass.
This stage took me a second to get through.
Bubble Man stage?
Yeah, it did. Probably longer than what it should have.
Did you
It's
use
not a super difficult level.
did you use Metal Blade though on it? Out of curiosity? Or did you
On
try
Bubble Man, I did.
Oh, on the actual Bubble Man fight you did.
Right. Do you
Okay.
use it throughout the whole level?
It makes it 1,000 times easier
With the
with the Metal Blade. And not to mention you get like 1,000 Metal Blade shots out of one, full canister.
you get quite a few. Because that's what I was worried
Yes.
about, using it and not having enough for the boss.
Oh god, that's what makes Metal Blade the best Mega Man weapon ever. Because
Because
not only is it way super OP, but you get for every one little pip. What do we call them? Like little pips? One little bar, maybe? One little bar of Metal Blade, you get like 5 shots out of it.
oh, okay.
It's crazy. You get like a crazy amount of it.
Because the energy, the drops, I mean, it's so hit and miss. Yeah, with the drops, you could get energy, you could get health, but most of the time it doesn't come when you need it.
Right. Especially when you get to the giant fish, like the giant anglerfish. But honestly, if you hit him right in the right spot, right in that bulb, 3 or 4 Metal Blade shots will kill that thing.
Oh, damn, that's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just jumping, trying to avoid those little shrimp-looking things.
And you're trying to avoid the spikes too, which is all over the room.
Yeah, that's not too difficult. So you get through that, go through the
Go
spikes,
through the Metroids.
the
Did
Metroids.
you not see the Metroids
Oh, yeah.
falling from the
Yeah,
ceiling,
yep,
which I
yep,
thought was a
yep.
great touch? They're not really Metroids, but they look like them.
Yeah, they sure do. Get through that, then you come back out of the water. You go with the fucking birds dropping the eggs, which are a pain in the
No,
ass.
that's Airman stage. You're thinking the lobsters. The
Yeah,
lobster's
yeah, yeah.
falling.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, the lobster's falling from the ceiling, which sucks because they drop right where you like your next platform is, the beginning of the platform, they'll fall right there.
Yeah,
And that
or in between. There's, I think, one that falls at the end of the platform when you're getting ready to jump across.
yeah, that's
One
definitely
falls.
that's a
Yeah.
section where you need to be really patient.
So you get to Bubble Man. He's got the spikes above him, shoots bubbles. You're underwater.
Yeah,
And you use the Metal Blade. You get him in what, 5 hits?
at least. Like yeah, probably three to 5 hits.
Yeah, very easy level.
And it's easy to spam. It's easy to spam it too. You just hold it down and you can directionally shoot it, which also makes Metal Blade great because you can directionally shoot it.
What do you mean? You hold down the fire button, then just move your D-pad to shoot it?
Well, you can keep shooting, but you can shoot it straight up, you can shoot it diagonally, and you can shoot it straight. And
Hmm.
you can also shoot it down a little bit, especially when you get to more towards Crashman stage, which helps.
Is Crashman next?
No, Crashman doesn't come till the end.
No,
Next is
Woodman.
Woodman stage, which a lot of people had problems with the Woodman fight. I remember people saying that the Woodman fight was actually like a pain in the butt.
I think it's one of those, like, if you get out of the pattern, it's hard to get back in. So let's go through the level really quick. You got the enemies, the bats, pretty easy.
Right.
You got the bunny mechs, little
Yeah.
purple mech bunnies,
Mm-hmm.
pretty easy. You run through. Then before you get to Woodman, you have what do you call
The
those?
the big ass cats.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
get
not what I was thinking, but yes, the fire breathing ones.
the big ass kitty cats. Bad kitty. Bad
Man,
kitty.
those are a pain in the ass because the length of the shot that he shoots varies each shot. Is there a pattern with it?
I did not know that. I just jump and shoot like right when he's starting to shoot, and he'll like do the little foot scratching
Yep.
is when I
He
jump,
does 2 foot
and
scratches,
then I just spam just Buster.
and you don't normally get hit?
I mean, I may get hit like once, but as much as I'm spamming it, I just keep jumping and shooting and trying to time it out.
You said you use blaster.
Yes,
The metal blade won't do shit on these because they're
I never
metal.
tried.
Oh.
I never tried.
I'm thinking the road runners.
Oh, near the end, yeah, near the end of the stage. Those,
If you're trying to farm, they're a pain in the ass.
yeah,
Because, I mean, they jump over you. It's pretty easy to avoid them. But if you're trying to keep up with them, because I don't think that you can shoot when they're coming towards you. You could shoot, then them jump over you, turn around and shoot and kill them in
yeah.
enough time. You have to move a little bit. You can't be stationary.
It's not a great farming stage.
It's not, but you have to use it sometimes.
right.
Especially if you get fucking drugged by those flame shooting kitty cats.
That was my band in high school, flame shooting kitty cats.
Well, that was my porno in high school.
Whoa, hey, ow, FBI called. High school?
Senior year, I was 18, totally legal.
Okay. See, you didn't say that right away. You didn't say that right away.
The Woodman fight.
4 leaves falling from the ceiling, left
The-
to right, and then he'll shoot the leaf wheel at you.
So you got to jump over the leaf wheel, but land where the 4 leaves, like in between where the 4 leaves are falling.
Yes. So it's
Because
hard to
you
not
can't-
get hit in this fight.
You have to shoot Woodman after you jump over him. Because if you shoot at, like, no matter what you shoot with the metal blades or anything, he's got the 4 leaves spinning in front of him as the shield, the leaf shield.
Yes. So you gotta wait for him to come at least a third of the way down, and then he'll shoot the leaves at you. And then so you gotta jump over that, and then he'll jump at you all in the meantime.
Yep, he gets closer. I
Yes.
did a lot better in the boss rush portion of the game. When you get to Wily's Castle and you have to face all the bosses again.
Okay.
They're the exact same.
Yeah, it's the exact same fights.
For whatever reason, I did better on that one versus the first time I played.
Well, yeah,
Makes no
because
sense.
you've seen. Well, it does make sense because you've seen the pattern before. I feel like that's a little
Obvious.
obvious. Isn't the word I would use,
But
but
even when I played this morning, like, I did not do that good. But maybe it's because I haven't played in, a little while.
right.
What's the next one?
I have Flashman on here, which of course is kind of a weird level because it almost has ice physics. There's a way you can get some nice things in this level. There's an E-tank like right near the end of the stage where you have to jump across the individual, almost like the Mecha Dragon, where it's the individual blocks you jump
Yep,
across.
Go up top. You got what enemies are those below?
Oh, they're like the giant. I know what you're talking about. Like the giant. They're the giant 2-legged robots. I forget what they're called. But yeah,
Then you got the little knight manning the robot.
yeah. And so once you shoot the robot down, then he comes down. But yeah, if you can platform that section just perfectly fine, then you will be rewarded with an E-tank,
Mhm.
and that is clutch, which is always great.
So you go through, then you fight the little 2-legged robot things and get into Flashman's lair or his room. Is that the fight where there's different levels?
Yes, and he jumps, which Buster works really well on him, but once he stops time, he's going to hit you once. So
But
you
Metal Blade, like, you could get him in 5 shots, right?
Oh, see, I never use Metal Blade. I always use just Buster on that.
I think Metal Blade, it's really quick.
Oh, I just
Don't hold me to that. You're the expert, but like I
use Buster on that section. All right, so I got Airman next, which is everybody's favorite. I'm gonna get hit and fall off the giant platform thing. Or
I hate that fucking level.
a lot of people do.
You got to be so patient jumping from, because you got these blocks, these floating blocks, and they're not super wide, but on either end of them, you have the drills coming up. Then out of the sides of the blocks, you have these flying enemies. They'll come. There are 10, 12 of these throughout the level.
Yeah.
And you have to jump from one to the other and time it all out
as the horns are coming up.
And trying to avoid the enemy coming up on the right side.
And you can use Flash Stopper they'll appear still. If you use Flash Stopper, those things will appear, but the horns won't come up.
The horns are the hard part.
Right. And the thing that sucks is you can't pick and choose when to use Flash Stopper. Like, you have to use it all at the same time.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, big time.
So you go through a lot of the levels then you got the birds dropping the eggs, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shoot the egg. You got, I don't know, 5, 10 birds popping out.
Which is a great way to farm. It's a great way to farm. I always found that out. Like, if I'm in a pinch, I will let that egg fall, and then I will just spam Buster, and then just shoot as much as I can. I may hit 3 or 4 of them, but I know I'm at least going to get 1 energy drop.
Yeah. And there's a little platforming section where Airman's right there. He's blowing you, or sucking you, or something. No.
Yeah.
Giggity.
This is my favorite level. No, yeah, I like the Airman knockoffs, like the RC Cola Airman.
Yeah.
Are there. You can actually, fun fact, I didn't learn this till I was replaying it for this review. You can actually despawn them. So, like, if you go on screen,
I think I've done that. Then go back.
You can despawn them.
I didn't know if it was a glitch or what, but I did something like that. I'm like, okay. I thought he just kind of disappeared and went on with his day.
You see, it's not cheating if you're manipulating the game.
Sure. So what's the key to this boss fight? Because he shoots those little tornado things.
You always have to be moving forward. Always have to be moving forward, because you can jump over his like little air shield as it's coming at you, and then you may get 1 or 2. The thing is, it takes 2 leaf shield shots to take him out, but it is all about timing.
Yeah, how do you even time that?
Like if you're moving forward and he puts the tornadoes in the air, and then he'll shoot the thing at you and it'll blow you backwards, you won't go all the way to the left as long as you keep moving forward. But once you get to the 3rd time, you're like right in front of him and you can hit him 2 or 3 times with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you don't get hit by the little tornadoes?
Or, well, if you jump in between them, you can. Or you could wait until he does that 3 times, and then he'll actually jump at you to where he's actually not using the tornadoes or the wind. So if you dodge that 3 times successfully, he'll try to jump at you, and you can actually hit him while the wind's not affecting your shot. Because the wind will blow the leaf shield away.
Right.
But you only need 2 or 3 real shots with leaf shield to take him out.
This was probably the 2nd hardest boss to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I only had to hit him 2 or 3 times, and
I just had a hard time timing the jumps and, getting through, because I tried using the leaf shield and hitting him, but I could never get him because he always blew the wind right there.
Right. Well, if you had a hard way of timing that, then you would have really had a hard time with Quick Man stage.
Quick Man is the one who shoots the bombs.
Well, I'm not even getting to that fight, because that fight's really not memorable. It's the level that's memorable with the lasers.
Is that the next one?
Yes.
With the lasers.
Yes.
What lasers? I don't remember.
The ones that you have to keep falling and keep moving, and they come from left to right.
Yeah.
That's what gets a lot of people, honestly, because those are insta kills.
Yeah, it took me quite a while to get through that using Flashman Time Stopper.
Oh, you used Time Stopper on that.
Why the fuck wouldn't you?
Because I save there's no real good place to farm in that level either. So I save all my Time Stopper for the Quick Man fight. Because you can freeze him in place and just keep shooting him.
Shooting him with what?
Buster. It's like once he's frozen in place, you shoot him with Buster.
Once you use Flashman, you can switch weapons?
No, your Buster will work while Flashman has him frozen, while you have him frozen with Flash Stopper.
But when you use Flash Stopper, you can't switch to a different weapon. Can you? Like, you're stuck on Flash Stopper.
It's still he's frozen in time, but your Buster will still work.
I'm confused.
So while he's frozen and
you just sigh at me.
And your meter's going down,
uh-huh,
you can still use Buster. and that's how you shoot Quickman.
You're
Now,
saying without switching, like I don't have to
you
switch
don't have
weapons.
to switch the weapons, no.
Huh. I did not do that at all.
Now you learned something today.
Maybe that made gaming a little bit harder.
See, you're going to go back and listen to this, and you're just going to fly through this game, and you're going to beat it in about 40 minutes.
Oh, God, no. What's the next one up?
Crash Man stage, which would be a pain in the ass difficult level, and I would hate it if it wasn't for the music. Second best music in the whole game.
Which one is Crash Man again?
The music?
No, the level.
Oh, that's it's the vertical level. That level's a pain in the ass because you move up the entire time. Like you go up the level. It's kind of like a Leckman stage from 1, but you never played 1. But yeah, it's you literally you move vertically through the level
With long ass ladders.
Yes.
Yep.
But the thing is, you have to use metal blades, or the birds are going to keep knocking you off the ladders.
Yep, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying metal blade is so good, because you can aim it vertically or aim it like diagonally
Did not know that.
and take those birds out. God, you are going to fly through this game. You're going to fly through this game next time you play.
And then that fight, he's the one who shoots the bombs.
Yes, but he also follows you. This is a pain in the ass boss fight.
Yeah, this would be the hardest one.
Yes,
to me.
This is the hardest boss fight for me as well.
Okay, so what's the pattern? What do you do?
Pray.
What's he weak against?
The boomerang, quick boomerang. But luckily you get a lot of quick boomerang too, but he'll just keep jumping at you. He comes for you. He doesn't like sit in one spot, wait for you to shoot him.
Right.
He's running at you the entire time. And when you jump, he jumps, which is hard to
So if you don't jump, he doesn't jump.
Like
I could avoid him pretty well.
Really?
You know, just going back and forth. Right. And I could avoid him.
Okay.
But to actually get a shot off,
yes,
I can't do that without getting hit.
Mm-hmm. And then he keeps like he's in the air and he drops crash bomb right where you're gonna land.
Yeah.
Which is a pain. That's the quickest. That's the hardest one for me. So now we got our old boy Heat Man, which I didn't find this too hard because by now I had most of the rush adapters, and to get through that, did you use the rush adapter to get through the long like puzzle stage, or did you jump through it?
You're gonna have to remind me.
Okay,
so I definitely did not make it this far today.
Dead middle of the level, there's like a long lava pit where they have the
I used 2.
The Roku blocks. Yes. Okay, so you use that as well.
Yep.
Okay, smart. Okay, good. I'm just double checking. I'm like, no, don't try to. I mean, you can do the puzzle and jump across, but that's peak platforming.
Oh, that was when the little blocks would appear and disappear.
Yes.
Yeah. Pain in the ass.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I did try doing that a little bit. Then I figured out what do you call it? The rush adapters?
Yes.
Oh. Does it say that in the game?
I think it says like rush adapter A, B, and C, but they're labeled 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. They should come up with better names than 1, 2, and 3.
Well, they have later on in the later Mega Mans, they have like Rush Jet, Rush Marine, which is useless, Rush Jet Pack, Rush Coil. So they have better names for it than 1, 2, and 3.
What do you use number 3 for?
Is that the one where it bounces?
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. I will get to that in a minute because 1, actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's get to it now because we're at Wily 1.
Yeah.
Which is the best music in the game. So we're at Wily 1 right now. You use 1 when you get to that ladder and you have to get to the other side of the screen. That's what you use 1 for.
Oh, you're talking through. So Wily stage 1, use the second rush adapter to fly across. You got to climb up the ladders. You got the little knights shooting at you, right?
Right, yeah.
Then you go up to the ladder, top of the ladder, and then the other ladder's on the other side of the screen. And there's this big ass gap right there.
Yes.
So you use 1, you set 3 of them to jump across like a platform.
Right, yeah.
You go up the ladder, go all the way to the right, then you get Mecha Dragon.
Then you're at the Mecha Dragon fight.
And then we talked about that a little bit. You jump across the platforms. You got 3 little blocks that you could jump up and down, avoid his flame shots, and hit him.
Yeah.
You could only hit him in the face. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, if you keep spamming quick boomerang, if you can dodge those shots, I mean, if you're patient, the fight's easy. If you're not patient, the fight's pain.
So do you use Rush Adapter 3 in this level?
No, you use it in, I want to say it's Wily 3.
All right, which one's 2? 2
2 is
is
the one where you use all of Rush Adapter 2 to go across
to
the
go
spikes.
across, and you got the first ladder you can hit, or you can go to the second ladder, then refill your
Yes.
energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always go to the second one because this whole thing is a trap because you don't want to use all your crash bomb. You have how far have you ever gotten past this part in the game?
I've made it to Alien Wiley. Is that what you call him?
Okay, so
Which is the very last
yes.
boss?
Okay,
Okay.
so you have made it this far. So what did you use to in Wily 3 to beat the crash bomb puzzle? How did you get around?
Is that when you are in the room with it's all purple and the blocks come out of the wall? 2
Yes.
blocks come out. I use my blaster.
Wait, when they come out of the wall, there's only one way to destroy those things. You can only use crash bomb to destroy those sensors.
What sensors?
On the sensors on the wall, the crash bomb puzzle.
Oh, no. I'm thinking,
Because you have Guts Dozer, which
no, is that is that 2? I'm not sure if that's 2. I think 2 is you drop down, you're in this square room, and there's blocks on the wall. And the blocks come out, they're like purple pinkish. The blocks come out, meet
Oh.
up, then you gotta shoot them twice.
Oh, you can use bubble for that.
Okay. I think that's 2. Is that not 2?
Yeah, it is too, because I'm thinking of all the bosses that are in the Wily stages, because you have the Mega Dragon, you have that, you have
The puzzle.
the block puzzle, you have the Guts Dozer, which, by the way, I love the Guts Dozer.
Let's go through this in order. Level 3 is one where you drop into the water, you jump across, got the spikes above you that you can't hit. You got to go through the spikes underwater. And then it's the Guts Dozer is the boss for level 3.
Yes. Which is goofy guy. That's why I have him as one of my emotes on Twitch. One of my favorite mini bosses.
This one take you a while to beat.
2?
3.
Oh.
Guts Dozer.
Oh, no. I think if you use Quick Boomerang on him, it's pretty quick work.
All right, which one is number 4?
I think that's the crash bomb. Well, the crash bomb section, there's actually a spike section. Yeah, coming from, I think at near the end level, there's something coming from the ceiling. Like you can go back and shoot the drills coming through the ceiling and downward, I do believe. Because if you mess up that puzzle once, you're done. You have to refill. There's like no way to.
Oh, because you got to use the rush adapters.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what you use 3 for.
Oh,
Because
that's the one with the false bottom. Not a false bottom, like a false floor that when you're going up through it, there's a couple spots. If you keep walking across the floor, it'll drop you down.
yes, and that's where you can use bubble to show you, because bubble will go across the ground. It'll show you where the spots are.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
you
just
trial and error.
roll bubble across trial and error. You roll bubble across the ground, and it'll show you where all the spots are.
You go through this level, there's platforming on, or no, there's just a little platform on the, whatever you call it. What do you call that? On the line, and it just like follows the path.
Oh, like a conveyor belt kind of thing?
Right. And you're just on this little platform. This is where I learned that leaf shield, it's like a leaf shield. You just hold it there. You don't shoot it off in the direction. You don't hit your D-pad, and it just stays around you.
Yeah.
Because one of the last sections of that where the conveyor belt takes you around the whole level, I had such a hard time because you had those little tin can looking things coming at you, and I'm trying to shoot them from each direction. Then I finally figured out I could just
That's why it's
put on
called
a
a
leaf
leaf
shield.
shield. See?
I'm kind of dumb sometimes.
I want to clip that. Can I clip that and
You
use that as my ringtone?
You sure can. And this is the one that's the crash bomb puzzle.
Yes.
I had to do this one twice.
You had to do the crash puzzle twice?
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying you were wanting to know what okay, so Wily 1 was a dragon.
Yep.
Wily 2 was the Pico gun. That was the block coming from the walls. 3 was Guts Dozer, and 4 was the crash bomb trap.
And you have just enough to get through on one run through.
Yep. And that's where I'm saying that's where you have to use 3. Because when you're in the very right half, there's like one little pit that you're in. That's a trap. Because if you use crash to get out of there, you won't have enough crash bomb to complete the rest of the puzzle.
Uh-huh.
So you got to use 3 there. Because it's the only thing that's going to get you up.
Okay.
Because you bounce it off the wall and it starts going up. Then you use that as a platform to get up and out. But there's a wall there that's like, hey, just use crash bomb here to get out. That's the easy thing, right? No.
So you'll be
Don't
one
do
short.
it. that is a fucking trap, and you will have to kill yourself and refill.
So Rush Adapter 3, it bounces until it hits a wall, then it starts to rise?
Yes, and it'll rise for about 5 seconds, and then it'll start to blink, and then it'll go away.
What's the difference between, like, what's the point of it bouncing first? Because Rush Adapter 1, it just rises. Like, why would you use 3 over 1?
I think, well, I mean, at least 1 you can use in multiple spots. And I think 1 doesn't rise as high, where 3 rises higher. Because I use 3 in Wily 1 and I use 3 in Wily 4. Okay, so now we're at the point where we're at the refights, and then you're at the Wily ship.
So with the refights, do you have a certain order you go through?
No, at this point, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I at least subconsciously try to make sure I'm somewhat refilled on some of the things. The Wily UFO is weak against Metal Blade, and the Alien is weak against Bubble. So at the very least, you want to make sure you have both of those going into the refights.
Right. With the Alien Wily, I was playing this game one Sunday morning, and it took me hours and hours, and I finally got to Alien Wily. And it was about time for the football game that I wanted to watch start. I get the password. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to come back here, later and play Alien Wily.
Oh, it started you at the beginning of the Wily stages.
It sure did. Yes. And that's why I have not beat it.
I'm sorry. I wish I would have I wish you would have asked.
I've taken a couple stabs, before that, I took a couple stabs at Alien Wily. And then I figured out you had to use the bubble. But how exactly do you use the bubble with that? Because it drops. You have to be above him, shoot it so it drops on him.
I mean, you can get next to him and, obviously shoot it at him. But there'll be some spots where he's like at ground level and it'll roll across the ground. Or you anticipate him coming like back up through the floor. And you can just use bubble there. But yeah, you're pretty much going to be using at least 1 to 2 E-Tanks here. So if you haven't used them yet, now would be the time.
How many bubble shots does it take?
Maybe 10.
And that's what he's weak against?
Yeah.
And it still takes 10 shots?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's the boss. It's the ending. I mean...
Man, what a hard game.
It is difficult. The problem is, what we were given here in North America has normal and difficult. The difficult in America is normal in Japan.
That's hilarious.
They had to make like a dumbed down version for us dumb Americans.
Fuck, and I played on normal.
I played it a couple times on difficult. It was kind of a pain.
So that is Mega Man 2 we just ran through.
Yes, and I can say this now. I have Mega Man 2 available to play on 7 different consoles in my house.
Damn.
I have the collection on the Switch. I have the collection on the Xbox One. I have a old school collection on the 360. I have like a knockoff retro thing that I got from Target with like preloaded games on there. One of them was Mega Man 2. I have like the Mega Man port plugin game. And I have it for the PS2. I think I may have it for the PS1 as well.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And this is why Mega Man is still around today.
Yeah, and it really hits the nostalgia bone. And not to mention, now of course it wasn't until later what I call the original 6. Mega Man 1 through 6 is what I refer to as the original 6. It wasn't until later in the original
fit name.
Yeah, it wasn't until later in the original 6 where you could charge up your Buster, or you could slide, and you can do slide jump. Those games were in and of itself challenges. Like I like 2 the best. I think it was the perfect length, the perfect difficulty. It was colorful. It wasn't complete bullshit. Between that and 5 was fun to play. I really enjoyed Mega Man 5.
I'll ask the question everybody wants to know. If there's 30 plus Mega Man games and the best one was the second one, what's that say about the franchise?
Now, I will say the first one, maybe it was tied for the best, because Mega Man X, when that came out, that game was phenomenal. That game was great. Like it was smooth. The graphics were great. The sound was great. It added a couple revolutionary features. You have Dash, you have your Super Buster. It fit the Super Nintendo profile. Like they say Mega Man X is still regarded like...
I think if you look up a list, Mega Man 2 is usually number 1. And if it's not number 1, it's second.
Yeah.
My point still stands. if one of the best games in the whole if the best game in the whole franchise is one of the earliest ones to come out, and there's been 20 plus to come out after it, and you could still say that for X, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's that say about the franchise?
It was hard for them to reinvent the wheel, you know? Nintendo was a lot better at reinventing the wheel than Capcom was.
But it still has its loyal fans who buy a copy of the game 7 fucking times.
Yay, that's me.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Oh, I gotta. Oh my god! I hope they got that on the recording. That was my shoulder. That was great. I'm getting old, which is why I love the old Mega Man so much. But yeah, I gave this the rare. On the Weldy scale, I gave this the rare W+, because this was this and Mega Man X were probably the best ones. They weren't necessarily my favorites, because I think I liked Mega Man 5. I liked Mega Man 10 a lot. Mega Man 10 gets slept on a lot. 6 was okay. 11, which was the newest one, I feel like you could find a lot of similarities between Mega Man 11 and Mega Man 2 if you sit down and play it. Because
is that an endorsement for 11? You like it?
Kinda. I mean, 11's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's no different. Bottom line, you can dissect the entire game, and it's really just jumping and shooting. It's just jumping and shooting.
Just jumping and shooting.
And that's why Capcom had it. They gave Mega Man all these different abilities and stuff, but really at the bottom line, Mega Man's just a jump and shoot game, and they perfected it with 2. And it's hard to reinvent the wheel.
So a W+. Best score you can get.
Yes.
Nice. Join us next time when we discuss the Wii.
Yes.
But in the meantime, you could follow us on Twitter at retro_smashed. You could join our Discord. The Discord link is in our Twitter bio. Or you can catch Weldy over there on Twitch at Weldy Time.
Yes. Yeah, join us next week when Eric will hopefully make a better box art for 2. Did you see the box art for Mega Man 2? Where he's actually holding a pistol.
No, I didn't see that.
Huh. I wanted to add this at the very end. Yeah. So Mark Erickson did the box art for the game. He was unfamiliar with the game, but Capcom directed him to give Mega Man a pistol on the cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
So there you go. You learned something else today.
The more you know.
The more you know. Bye, kids.